Papa pulled into the parking lot of the Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum. The museum included several small, crisply painted white houses against the sparkling blue waters of Lake Superior. You know, it's really beautiful here, Christina commented. The Great Lakes have some of the most incredible scenery in the country, Mimi agreed, throwing her arm around Christina's shoulder. And you know how I love the water. Wow, Christina commented. She pointed to a sign by a hefty brass bell. It says that this bell was recovered from the Edmund Fitzgerald itself. It weighs 200 pounds. That's more than Grant and me put together. Grant scratched his head. It doesn't make sense to me, Papa. What doesn't, Grant? Papa asked. Well, the story here, he said, pointing to a plaque with a picture of the Edmund Fitzgerald. It says here that the captain was in communication with the Coast Guard, and he said they were holding their own. Then all of a sudden they lost the signal and sank. Christina and Nicole joined Grant, Dominic, and Papa at the information site. Well, Grant, that's part of the mystery and tragedy of this ship, Papa said, as he turned his attention to the maps on the wall. Yeah, piped in Dominic, they believe that it was a rogue wave, a very giant and dangerous wall of water that sank the Fitzgerald. And they said it broke in half, like the Titanic did, said Nicole. Papa turned his attention to the children again. Christina asked, Papa, it also says here that the Edmund Fitzgerald and another ship, the Anderson, had no guidance from the lighthouse because it lost its radar. And it was in a blinding snowstorm. So how could they see where they were going? Well, they used radio communications to talk with each other. And the Coast Guard, Papa said, that's how they knew that there had been rogue waves. The other ship, the Anderson, had reported seeing them. So it snows up here in November, Grant asked? Mimi laughed. It does more than that, she said. Ice builds up on the Great Lakes, and icebreaker ships have to make lanes so the ships can pass. When the lakes freeze over, I bet you could skate on them, right? Grant asked Dominic. I wish, but it would be too dangerous. The ice is shifting. It's like icebergs. They float on the top of the water, Dominic added. This is really sad, Nicole said, reading the sign. Listen to this. When they had the memorial service at the Maritime Cathedral for all 29 members of the crew, they rang the bell 29 times, once each for the lost crew members. What is a maritime? Grant asked. Maritime refers to boating in the water, Papa said. For instance, we follow maritime law on the waters for safety and directions. Ding! Mimi's phone rang. She scanned the message quickly. It's Ichabod. He's still not doing well, but he knows we're on our way. We should be there tomorrow. Mimi, Christina said, is it possible that Mr. Ichabod's place is really haunted? Well, it's a very old lighthouse, Mimi thought out loud and tapped her finger on her lip. He said he heard footsteps going up the stairs of the lighthouse at night. I'm thinking it was just his imagination getting away from him. Christina looked at Grant. Well, I have all the information I need here. Let's get a move on, Mimi said, and walked toward the door. Mr. Icky heard footsteps coming up his lighthouse, Grant said. You don't suppose, Christina wondered out loud.